if you're able, for the national anthems. Sun hats and caps off, please. Starting with the national anthem of Uganda. And now the national anthem of the Republic of Rwanda.
Good morning and welcome to match day 8, game number 15 of the ILT20 Continental Cup powered by Fancode. We're live here at Gahanga International Cricket Ground. As we see that man getting a guard of honor from the two sides. Before we get started, let's find out what happened earlier at the toss with, of course, our co-commentator Davis Karashani with his two captains.
Very good morning from us at the Gahanga Cricket Stadium. Sunny conditions here on match day number 8. It is match number 15 between Rwanda up against Uganda. The two men in the middle for me are the Rwanda captain, changing the captaincy, Eric Dusiguzimana, alongside Fred Achalam, captain of Uganda, and the match referee, Emmanuel Dube. Rwanda at the home team. Eric will toss the coin. Heads is the call. Tails it is. Eric, you have won the toss. What are you going to do?
We are bowling first.
Any particular reasons why you're going to bowl first?
This is really a batting track, but today we decided that anything that they put on the board, we can really defend. We can really chase it.
Yes, we've received communication in the commentary box that this is going to be your last official game in Rwandan colours. Any particular moment that brings a lot of delight to you?
There's really a lot because Rwanda, when you see how Rwanda cricket has really grown, this is 16 years playing for the national team, and I really remember for my first captain in 2011 when Rwanda won World Cup qualify Division 3 Africa, and the second thing was when we qualified and played with the big boys like Zimbabwe and Namibia. That's a particular moment I really remember.
Well done on your career and best of luck in this game. Fred Achalam, you haven't won the toss on your first time of outing in the colours for Uganda as the captain, but what would you have done?
One up, we would be happy to bat, having that set score. With our bowling attack, I'm happy we can do it with the ball, and the boys are happy to bowl.
Any changes in your sides besides the captaincy?
There are 3 changes. Joseph comes in for Frank, Miyaji comes in for Cosmas, and Riazat, I take off the roles from Rizzo.
Right. Best of luck in this particular game. That is the news in the middle. Rwanda elected to bat first.
You had it loud and clear there from the two captains. Team Rwanda, of course, with their new skipper of this fixture, Eric Dusiguzimana, winning the toss and electing to have a ball first. As we take you through the squads, of course, that man, Joseph Baguma, gets a go again. Juma Miyaji coming in for Cosmas Cheuta up with a new bat. He's going to be, of course, Simon Tesazi alongside Robinson Obuya. Ragav Dawan gets a go once again with that man who is going to come in handy, Dinesh Kumar Nakrani. And Davis will be taking us through the team list of Team Rwanda. And of course, with no surprise, it's going to be Zapi to open the proceedings with a new cherry from the airport end. I am Songabo Bashir in the comms alongside my co-commentator Davis Karashani. Good morning, Davis. A beautiful day of cricket, lovely weather.
Good morning to you, Bob. This match day number 8. You just feel that we are in the middle of the final round. But the man in your frame. The man in your frame there, Simon Sesazi, will be taking guard first up. A familiar, or you would say a more settled opening duo for Uganda. Robinson Obuya, the man in form, is probably still the leading run scorer in the ILT20 Continental Cup powered by Fancode, alongside the big hitting left-hander Simon Sesazi. Both of them have scored up 50s in the tournament. They should be in a good momentum, you would say. Sun is belting this wicket. Fantastic cricketing weather it is at the Gahanga Cricket Stadium.
Talking about a fantastic weather. What a day, what a moment for that man putting on shot number 51, Eric Dusiguzimana. What a gem of a player he has been for his nation. Zapi Menyimana has a sleeping play. Oscar Manishimwe. He has a fine leg. And a deep extra cover for the left-hander, Simon Sesazi. Here we go, first ball. And they get off the mark straight away is Simon Tesazi and Team Uganda up and running.
Zappi comes into this particular fixture having felt that picked a bit of a form, you would say. Bowled pretty well yesterday against Botswana. He was smart enough to cramp the batters for room, and he got that big wicket of Karabo Motlanka. So he'll be hoping to bowl similar lines, as the tactics should not be too different. These Ugandan batters obviously thrive off any width. They're both very strong square on the offside. And with these very short straight boundaries, you just reckon that anything too full, a man like Robinson Opia will put his power on display.
Into the pads are flicked. Straight to that man in the deep. 2 is the call. They're running very hard. Run out chance. Oh, they scamper for 2 runs. Very sloppy in the deep from Mohamed Nadil, allowing them to get 2 runs. Because these 2 men in yellow and red out there opening the batting for Team Uganda. They've played a lot of games on this particular ground. They know a thing or two about these wickets. Is Robinson Obuya and Simon Sesazi, both batsmen getting to that 80 plus in this tournament. We are yet, of course, to see that century in this tournament. Can this be the day?
Especially at a ground that traditionally is being a high-scoring ground. It's a bit strange. We haven't yet seen that century, as you rightly state. But good start here from Zappi, cramping the batters for room. And he continues to do exactly that. Beats that outside edge of Simon Sesazi. Very well bowled from the senior fast bowler of Rwanda. Gets a little bit of patches, and that ball simply goes slightly across the left-hander. Good to see for Rwanda. They have kept that slip fielder there. Simon's been guilty so far in the tournament for nicking a few.
Shot on that occasion. There's a fielder in the deep. Rukundo Jean-Pierre who cuts it off to only 1 run. You tell, of course, from that previous delivery, Zappi is trying to get that movement up front with the new cherry. We've seen, of course, a couple of bowlers in the first power play, in the power play, getting that late movement into the pads again. Flicked fine again from Robinson Obuya. A little bit of jagger for that man. Mohamed Nadil allowing them once again to get 2 more runs. Zappi is not the happiest, but who end the first over with 7 runs for naught. Inyasi Nirenganya left arm quick to share the initiary with his partner Zappi Menyimana coming in from, of course, the pavilion end. Gonna be, of course, swinging it away from the left-hander Simon Sesazi. He has a sleeping place. 4 ball driven but straight to the fielder. Martin Akai is at mid-on. He's been, of course, struggling with his line and length. Is Inyasi Nirenganya with an economy of 9 in this ILT20 Continental Cup powered by Fancode.
Bob, you get a feeling that this is a very important game for Inyasi. You feel that based on the performances of Eric, the other fast bowler in the squad, you feel that Eric has done tremendously well. So a bit of pressure has been put on the left-arm fast bowler. How he responds is entirely in his control. He's been guilty for bowling a bit too short and too wide, allowing batters to pounce on him. Hence that economy rate of 9 in the tournament. He'll know that he's a lot better than that.
Driven downtown, but this time round, picks that fielder at mid-offer. Izaini Mugabo. Starting off with 3 dot balls from Inyasi Nirenganya. That man, Simon Tesaz, of course, the first time he played Uganda in this particular tournament, he's got to 19 of 13. He would love, of course, to give his team a good start. One of the batsmen who take their time assessing the wicket.
Gets a bit of top edge there. Fielders under it. The big man takes completes a beautiful catch. The man that is retiring today, he has his moment early up in the game. He gets rid of Simon Sesazi. Bit of a teaser, you would say, in that catch.
What a moment from that big man, Eric Dusingizimana, who gets into action straight away in his last game in those colors. Shot number 51. A very good bowling, of course, from that man, Inyasi Nirenganya. A little bit wider, trying to hit him on the onside, getting that top edge. It was in the air for a decade. Keeping his eyes on it is that man, Eric Dusingizimana. It's going to be the first wicket. That man, Simon Tesaz, was to depart for his 2 of 7. Not troubling the scorers on that occasion.
Big wicket in the context of the game. Uganda very strong with that opening duo. They like to get out of the blocks quickly. Rwanda have clearly drawn first blood, and it is the man I was talking about who is under a bit of pressure. He's put together 4 dot balls in a row, and more importantly picked up that prized wicket of Simon Sesazi, who is the leading run scorer for Uganda in T20 internationals. But in walks Raghav Dhawan, a man still searching to find that elusive big score. One that's not been short of, you would say, ability and technique. He's just not found the runs to back his big reputation. But he will be hoping today is that kind of day. He has a lot of time to play himself in. Not much pressure in this game.
Obviously, the outside edge by the umpire will be very happy to signal wide ball from Inyasi Nirenganya.
Very wide delivery there. We did talk about that. Inyas having some bit of trouble with his lines. A big side there from Raghav Dhawan. I'd like to see him go out there and play with a lot of freedom. Not worry too much about the clutter that is in his mind. Gets his inning underway. Beautifully struck down there to that vacant extra cover region. Picks up his first boundary, and that should give him a certain amount of confidence. Look at the other replay for me there. The more important part is I like to see that trigger movement is a lot quicker today, allowing him to be as stable as possible at the time the bowler is releasing the delivery. Having a look at him in the past, you just had the feeling that he was a bit late on the deliveries. He'll be hoping to pick up from there.
Much better line and length from Inyasi Nirenganya to close off his first over, going for 5 runs and picking up that big wicket of Simon Sesazi. It is 12 for 1 after 2, Uganda. Zapi Menyimana to continue from the Airport end up against Robinson Obuya, who's been watching, of course, that previous over from the non-striker. Change of pace on that occasion from Zapi Menyimana. But again, watchful played by Robinson Obuya. Interesting, these two play for the same local team, Challengers, here in Rwanda. They put on, of course, those national colors. They will have a go at each other. In the air, catch was the call, and the catch is taken. Outfoxed by that change of pace from Zabi Menyimana. He gets his man, Robinson Obuya. The openers are back in the hat with no timer. He is living with himself.
Very well bowled yet again from Zapi Benyimana. Bowling reasonably straight, not giving the batters any width. And that plan is paying off. Celebration there from Rukundo. He knows just how important that wicket is. Another pedestrian knock from Robinson Obuya. 5-5. Totally unlike him.
Oh, very good plan there from Team Rwanda, especially the bowler Zapi Menyimana, setting that trap. Bowling it a little bit inside that nib backer, knowing that Robinson Obuya was not going to hesitate. Picking that fielder at short mid-wicket, Rukundo. 12 for 2 after 2.2 overs.
The man in your frame there, Zapi Benyimana, has given Rwanda the perfect start, especially after the team won the toss and elected to bowl first. They will know that momentum is heavily with them. The ball's first up against Sridip Mangela.
Full ball on that occasion. What will be played by that new man, Mangala, Sridip. Lovely to see Zapi and Inyasi bowling in partnerships, not giving away a lot of runs up front in the power play. Given that they have only two fielders outside the ring, I would say they are bowling magnificently in the power play, having picked, of course, 2 wickets.
Sridip Mangela gets off the mark there. With 2 new batters on the wicket, you feel that Rwanda obviously will feel like if they can nick one off here yet again and put that Ugandan mid-order to test. A test that was heavily passed by them yesterday. There was a bit of an early scare against Nigeria. They were 29 for 3 in that power play. But they found able batters in Fred Achalam, who is the captain today for his very first time in T20 internationals. Partnership together with Dinesh Nakrani. But Rwanda at this point will feel they have the upper hand if they can nick another one here.
Another good delivery from Zapi Benyimana. Targeting top of off, not allowing these 2 batsmen to free their arms up front. A very good over after picking, of course, that big wicket of Robinson Obuya. He has gone for only 1 run. Last delivery to come for his second over. Always leading from the front, that man, shot number 47. With, of course, 77 sculls. Not enough timing, and he will end his second over with a dot ball, going for only 1 run and a big wicket of Obuya. 13 for 2 after 3 overs.
And the left-arm fast bowler, Ineas, will continue to operate from the pavilion end. They've done tremendously well in the first 3 overs. Starts off with a very wide delivery. He doesn't look happy with that, but the line belongs to the umpire, and that's a very experienced umpire. Swung way after passing that the crease itself. Umpire standing from that end, Isaac Oweko from Kenya, a very experienced umpire standing out there, alongside Alessi Habib from Nigeria.
Oh, much better line there from Inyasi Nirenganya. Half an appeal there from the wicket-keeper batsman. Didier Ndikubwimana interested in that appeal. Oh, much better line, beating that outside edge. You would see.
Not a convincing appeal there from Ineas. Bit of an afterthought, going up after his wicket-keeper had gone up. But the more important thing for him there is that that's a much better line. That's the line that will trouble batters. That 4th stump line of uncertainty.
Four ball on the occasion. Ronald chance. A little bit of fumble from Martin Akayezu. Trying to chip in a diver.
Poor choice of words there, Bob. I don't think Lito would be the word I would use. He made a total meal out of that one. Made it appear like he was catching a hot potato. But with that single, allows Dawan to take strike. But the 2 batters are experienced enough. They will know that they have a lot of time, nothing to worry them.
Into the pads of Flichter, but there's protection in the deep. Emir Kiliza cuts it off to only 1 run. Nyasi Nirenganya has been very tidy for the first time in this tournament. You would feel again, having been rested for the 2 previous games. Eric Kubimana was very impressive with the ball. He's learnt his lesson on the bench. Is Inyasi Nirenganya picking up, of course, that wicket of Sesazi.
Good headache to have by Lawrence Madlani. Now he has 3 premier fast bowlers, all firing at all cylinders. Bit in the air for a little bit of it. Some microseconds, you'd say. Had the Rwandan fielders a bit interested, but it was in the gap, and Sridip Mangela gets another single. But Bob, that luxury of having 3 fast bowlers firing at all cylinders, good problem to have for Lawrence Madlani.
Absolutely, it is a very good headache for that man, Lawrence Mahatlani. Four runs so far in his second over is Inyasi Nirenganya. I would love him, of course, to get another wicket in the power play. In the air for quite some time, beating that fielder at short mid-wicket to ease the caller. They're running very hard. They will scamper for 2 runs with ease. Taking their time to assess the wicket, Raghav Dhawan and Shridip Mangela. He has, of course, Shridip scored a half century. I would love that man, Raghav Dhawan, who's been on and off that team, to get back into the groove and score some runs for his side. Full into the pads. A lot appeal there from Inyasi Nirenganya. But the umpire says not out. He will be happy to end the second over with a dot ball, giving away only 6.
That replay again, a bit late there on that trigger. Raghav Dhawan is not very stable at the time the ball is released, but it is a dot ball. Uganda 19 for 2.
Zapi will be bowling his third over. You would feel after, of course, these 4 overs in the power play, 2 more to go. They've been down Team Uganda to 19, and they have picked up 2 big wickets, putting a team like Uganda on the back foot. Yet to lose a game is Team Uganda.
Easily flicked there to that fielder at deep square leg. Must have been some temptation there for Didier on whether to give his premier fast bowler Zappi a break and try and bring on a spinner earlier or bring Martin Akayezu. But I think for me it is a good move. The fact that Zappi is in full flow, he's managed to keep the Ugandan batters in check. You feel that at this stage Zappi is the right person to be holding that new cherry for Rwanda.
Of course, with the experience he possesses, he can be a threat to the opposition side. Is Zappi Menyimana when he gets going. I love the fact that he is bowling to his field. He knows he has a fielder in the deep square leg. One of the reasons you would feel he's trying to go for the in-swinger. Knowing, of course, if you miss, he will hit. He stands a chance of getting that LB in play or even getting bowled into the pads again. A flicked to is the call, but they decide not to take on the arm of that man in the deep, Mohamed Nadil. A very good backing up from Orkide to Yisenge.
Just having a look at how Rwanda have done against Uganda. You felt in the first game they were belted around. They conceded 193 runs against Uganda in 18 overs. You felt they allowed Robinson Obuya to get quickly out of the blocks and he made them pay. The second game, they obviously got a bit better and you feel like they are continuing to only get better against Uganda. The gap you feel is narrowing. And those will be very good signs for Lawrence Madlana and his boys.
Mohamed Nadil, very sloppy in the field, you would say. He has given away a lot of runs with the misfields. I would love to correct that. Every run conceded, given that he will have to bowl 4 overs in this game, 4 crucial overs. He would love to, of course, bring out his A game, is Mohamed Nadil.
That's very well struck, very straight. Shouts of catching, but that was hit very well. The mid-on fielder did not have much of a chance, and that's the first boundary for Sridib Mangela. Beautifully struck. Full flow, full face of the bat. Doesn't get any better than that. The elegant left-hander gets his inning underway. But you just get a feeling a bit strange that you find Nadir Mohammed in that cover region. It is a high traffic area. He's not the best fielders going around. But I guess in T20 cricket, there's just nowhere to hide.
I'll tell you, Davis, before this tournament, he was one of the best fielders. I would feel it's one of those tournaments where nothing is coming out. A run-out chance on that occasion. Very well done there from Zappi to get a hand on it. That was struck powerfully downtown, saving, of course, his team 3 runs. And with that single, we come to the end of the 5th over. 28 for 2 is what the scoreboard reading. Moving at 5.6 is Team Uganda. Inyasi Nirenganya is being given, of course, his third over from the new captain, Eric Dusingizimana. Deciding, of course, to feed Team Uganda with pace in the power play. No spin. He would love to close off the last over of the power play without leaking more runs. In the air, catches the call. Up and over that fielder, Martin Akayezu at mid-on. And those couple for 2 runs. You would feel on the replay there that Martin Akayezu has misjudged that.
Clear leading edge there. Didn't go exactly where Sridip would have wanted. And yes, you are right. That could have been a half chance if Martin Akayezu had picked that and judged it well from the get-go.
Much better line and length there from Inyasi Nirenganya. Looking to be a different Inyasi in this ILT20 Continental Cup powered by Fancode. He's been spot on. Bowler, of course, who's had an economy of 9 in the games he's played in this tournament. Very good recovery from Inyasi Nirenganya. He would love to pick up another wicket. Straying down the leg side, white signaled by the umpire.
Balls are a bit too straight with that angle. And slightly short for my liking. He's been guilty of bowling straight down the leg side. I want to get his radar going in that direction. But Sridip Mangela is a correct enough batter and the perfect batter to be out there for Uganda. The time to rebuild an inning.
A little bit of fumble there at point from Orchidea, allowing them to sneak in for yet another single. Very sloppy in the field is Team Rwanda.
Guilty of licking what you'd feel very soft runs. They should be able to know how important they need to try to restrict Uganda to anything around that 120 mark. Give themselves a chance. Rwanda, a team that are very top heavy. Rely heavily on their top order. They'll feel like anywhere around that 120 mark could have a chance of stringing up an upset here. Little shimmy there, run out opportunity, not taken. Very well run by the two batters. Inyas not happy that Martin Akayezu was not able to keep that to nothing. Good strike rotation from the two batters out there. Recognizing that whereas they're not getting the boundaries as often as they would want, still smart enough to try and rotate strike and keep the board ticking.
The captain, Eric Singizimana, telling his bowler it's wicket time. Cut away on that occasion. He thinks otherwise is Sridip Mangela with on offer. His eyes lit up, piercing, of course, that gap at point and short third, allowing him to get an easy boundary there.
Short delivery. It was about time, unfortunately, for Rwanda, and it pierced that gap there at point. Runs away for much needed 4 runs for Sridip Mangela. You feel that he's gotten a bit of a flow. He's on 18 of 13. He's cruising. That's a much needed boundary for Uganda and for Sridip. It breaks the shackles based on how they started off at the halfway stage of the power play. To be at 37 for 2 with 1 ball to go, they'll feel they've recovered pretty well.
Driven downtown between those two fielders. The chase is on by Martin Akayezu. And the chase will be in vain. Back-to-back boundaries to close off the power play. Not trying to overheat it is Sridip Mangela.
Very well struck there. The on drive, the hardest shot in the book to play. It's very well played there by Mangela. Puts in a big effort there, Martin Akayezu. The elegant left-hander continues. Uganda 41 for the loss of 2 after 6. Look at the highlights in the power play. But well, that's simply put, Uganda started off pretty slow in their power play, but have looked to build on it. They are at 41 for 2. Looking at the batting scorecard there for Uganda, the two openers never got out of first gear, never engaged the gear, but it is Raghav Dhawan on 9 of 10. Sridip is cruising on 22 of 14. Uganda 41 for 2 after 6. In contrast, the bowling card for Rwanda, two wickets have been picked up by those men there. The opening bowler, Zapi Binyimana, alongside Inyas Interingaya, conceded 17 off his 3 over Zapi. And 24 runs for Inyas, a bit expensive. And there is a bowling change, Emil Ruchiriza is going to be operating from that airport end. There is a change in the commentary box. Bob Songa takes a break and allow me welcome Eli Tawanda.
Thank you, Davis. It's a good morning. Two teams that were out in action yesterday, fairly winning by a similar margin. 25 runs is what Uganda won by, while 23 is what Rwanda won by against Botswana. Uganda versus Nigeria. Evenly poised, spin into the attack. And worked straight on for a single. I say evenly poised because 42 is not bad. You're operating around 6.8 runs per over. But also Rwanda will be happy with the 2 wickets that they've picked up here. It's a leeway that teams that bet in the power play will give themselves, losing 2 wickets in the power play. That'll be reasonable. Anything more than that, you start to get worried. But also, from a bowling perspective, you'll be happy because you're making inroads. You know that you have 8 more wickets to try and get. And with the field much spread, you'll be happy. Gently. Just a gentle touch into the gap for a single.
Different tactics, different captain for Rwanda on the day. And this time Eric opts to start off with Emil Ruchiriza, the right arm off spinner. We've traditionally seen Didier on the contrast look to start with Nadir Mohamed. But Emil was exceptional yesterday with ball in hand. He was the man of match in that game against Botswana. And perhaps the reason why the more experienced captain of the day, Eric, has opted to go with Emil. But Uganda start off this particular over picking up 3 singles. Excellent rotation of strike there, especially in this middle phase of the game, of the inning itself. Overs between number 7 to number 12 is the phase of the game where a lot of teams look to pick up singles. Statistically, the team that picks up the more singles in this phase wins 90% of the games.
Yeah, top ball percentage is important. Now you're able to navigate around that to minimize it as much as possible will be essential. In the next few overs, pretty much around the 16th or around 15th over, people make plans of how they can escalate their scoring rate. But it's important that you don't keep yourself bogged down. You get the singles, then maybe you can get one odd boundary ball. But this is important. Just touching it down. And already you have 5 runs off the over. Trinidad Mangela, 109 runs to him in this tournament so far. Oh, this good bounce. Trying to steal one away. His average is just around 27, highest of 65. 7 overs done. It's 46 for 2. Raghav down, also a man looking for runs. He's been searching. Maybe hopefully today will be his game. Pegged down the order, number 26 in the running order of people with runs. Has only been able to get 50 runs in the 6 games that he's played. He'll want to do better. Maybe double it up a bit. Get into triple figures. Just like his partner there on 109. Him almost half of that. It's not a good average to have. Averaging just around 12 in the entire tournament. Goes for the sweep shot. That's a close one. Probably just going with the arm, but that was close.
Left arm orthodox. Pock. Very close one there. But it's a good thing, Eli, we are in the commentary box and not out there making the tough decisions.
Yeah, very tough one. Oh, choosing to rock onto the back foot. And takes a quick single. Oh, goes for double. Good running. Good call.
We've seen that the wicket here at the Gahanga Stadium has not been an easy wicket to sweep, especially because there's generally not much turn, and a lot of the spinners, the successful spinners, have looked to bowl very straight, looked to attack those three stumps, bring in the LBW and ball dismissals. It's a bit of a strange option being taken. I'm not too sure about that risk.
Yeah, big risk when you decide to sweep. You have to be very good at the sweep shot. Just pulling away. We saw two people fall to spin yesterday from Uganda. Riaz Adal Shah went for the spin. Found himself LBW plum right there. Simon Sisazi as well. Goes for it. And this time he is given out. Although I felt that there was a little bit of a bottom edge there, I feel for him. Because the sound was there. He will be disappointed. But however, the umpire is the final call. He'll be given out 12 from 14. He would have scored.
Full on straight delivery, a bit too full to sweep that one. But again, it's something we've just talked about. The risk analysis, looking at the wicket, it is match day number 8. It's not been much turn, so the option to sweep may not have been the smartest, and Raghav goes for another lackluster performance with bat in hand. Scored just 14 of 16 deliveries.
And Raghav Dhawan departs. Pascal Murungi walks in. And with the new man in, 3 deliveries to face in the over. And this is good for Rwanda. They're picking up wickets regulated at regular intervals. And 48 for 3 Uganda.
In walks Pascal Murungi, the present and the future of Ugandan cricket, former under-19 captain. Last captain for Uganda, take the team to that World Cup, under-19 World Cup. He'll know he has some work to do. Nadir Hamad, his operation is trying to bowl as straight as possible. Not too sure about that shot yet again. And that's a given. LBW. Nadir Muhammad strikes back to back.
Now we're going to look at that again. Going for the sweep shot. A straight one would have crashed between middle and leg stump. And he finds himself LBW again trying to go for that sweep shot. He'll hang his head. He'll depart for naught. Golden duck, you would say. A hat-trick that Nadir Muhammad is on now. 48 for 4 Uganda.
Still not too sure about that option. We keep talking about it here in the commentary box. The attempt to try and sweep on a wicket that is not offering a lot of turn. Especially with the deep square leg patrolling that boundary, because even if you make the connection, Pascal Murungi sent for an early shower for the youngster. You'll know he's done something that he probably should not have done, especially following the fact that Raghav had gotten out to the same kind of shot. Nadir Muhammad, the pick of the bowlers for Rwanda, is on a hat-trick ball.
Could we have the first hat-trick of this tournament? We've had fifers, fourfers. We're still missing a hat-trick. Could this be the first one? Nadir Muhammad with the ball. Marshalling in the troops there. And he would want somewhere in that mid-wicket region. Changes of who will be there in the deep mid-wicket region. Danish Kumar Nakrani will be the man, then walks into the middle. Right, hat-trick ball. The field is set. Just a little bit more tinkering, slip in place now. Captain of the day in the slips. Here we go, hat-trick ball. On the money, and off he gets off the mark. He won't get one, but he will get two. But nonetheless, still a good over. 4 runs conceded and 2 wickets in it. Back to back, the wickets. One of a batter searching for form. The other one, the future of Ugandan cricket, sent quite early for an early shower. And the 2 they ran, 50 came up for Uganda after 8 overs. They are 50 for the loss of 4 wickets after 8 overs. Into the 9th over. In Uganda, they have lost 3 wickets for 34 runs in the last 5 overs. Emil Rikiriza to bowl his second, went for 5 in his first. And for Rwanda, this is good. And they have Uganda packed on the back foot. How they operate this mid-order period will be very important. Top balls will be good. They will result in such kind of things. Desperate attempts for runs. Shridip Mangela will have a quick chat with Danish Kumar Nakrani. He's being told by the umpire to quickly come back because we're about to start play. Goes for the sweep shot. Now he considered as a wide. They have been in trouble, Uganda, trying to go for that sweep shot. Fortunately, that one was not in line. Oh, punched up in the air for a bit. Emil would have thought that he was in the money there to pick up his first. But just wide of him, kept dropped. They say Mugabe drops a seat. And it drops a huge wicket. Trying to go straight. Danish Kumar Nakrani finds a thickish outside edge. Goes all the way to long off. And makes a meal out of it. Worked away leg side. And hit the sweeper. Just be one.
Nearly as just how long the national chronic can hold out there. And Isaiah and Rwanda will know just how important that moment was.
That was a close one. Very, very close one. Pulled away this time. Man under it. And out. In the attempt to go big by Danish Kumar Nakrani sees his demise. Another wicket falls. Wicket number 5. With only 4 runs that is contributed.
The happiest man out there on the Rwandan field will obviously be Isaye Nwomugabo, was just put him down. Short delivery. Dinesh Nakrani takes a liking to it. Course attacking the big boundary. Catch very well completed down there by the youngster Inyas Teringaya. Big wicket. Huge moment in the context of the game. Dinesh is going to score just 4 runs off 6 deliveries.
And 57 for 5 Uganda. The dugout players are sparsely populated in terms of seating. Worried faces, you would say. Could this be a moment that they are looking down the barrel? 5 back in the dugout, 5 remaining. And Inib Muhammad has now figures of 3 for 7 in 1.4 overs. What a day he's having. Alpesh Ramjani, the new man in. Not ready, he says. You're hurrying me up.
Slight bit of strange tactics here from Uganda. We have seen Uganda look to deploy the standing captain today, Fred Achalam, at a time when Uganda, you'd say a bit, when the boat is rocking. But this time round, they decide to opt with Alpesh Ramjani. Means they have 2 left-handers on the wicket. At a time you'd have thought would have been tailor-made for Fred Achalam to come in and play a handy knock, a supportive knock alongside Sridip Mangela to get them to that 14th over mark.
Edged. And it falls away from firstly. And standing captain today, on the captain of the day, man who has had a big impact. 10 overs done, it'll be 58 for 5. Halfway stage of Uganda's innings. Don't think that they would want to be here. They have 5 players back in the dugout with only 58 runs in the board. Simon Sisasi gone for 2. Robinson Obuya gone for 5. Raghav Dhawan went for 14 from 16. Sridhar Mangala still there. 28 from 23. He'll need to see the rest of the remaining 10 overs and try to get to a reasonable total. Normally we're used to seeing Uganda with 58 runs on the board while it's still in the power play. But today, a different make of the team. New strategies, other players being given a go, others being given a rest.
Very well ball yet again for me from Emil Ruchiriza. He's enjoying this contest against these left-hand batters. Bowling very straight. Looking to attack the stumps. He's been guilty in the past for having bowled a bit too wide. But you can see this time he's done his homework. He knows he needs to bowl a lot straighter, not to go anything wide of that 4th stump and challenge the batters. If one that beats the wicket and turns, he then will be able to get some patches. Look at that. Yet again, bowls very straight.
Great use of the feet there by Sridhar Mangala to work that single out. Coming down the wicket, meeting that ball well.
The fact that Emily has not allowed the batters any width, any room to open their arms up to that vacant, you would say, extra cover region. Very well bowled. Find the outside edge there. Try and scamper through for a single. Yes, they do.
Well, courtesy of trying to negate the top ball percentage, risky singles are being taken here. And so far, they have worked in their favor, Uganda. 3 runs on the board. That's what counts. Arrow hit long off, just for 1.
Very well ball yet again from Emile, and that one run closes out that over. Uganda 63 for the loss of 5 after 11.
51 hours batting. 51 hours batting in the nets. Oh, close.
Yes, sir. Eli, speaking about what level of savantry Eric has offered to Rwanda cricket. If you're a staunch fan of entertainment, you'll know that there is a gentleman called Professor in Money Heist. He once said, great men are never born great, they grow great. And Eric has done exactly that. Rwanda cricket will be very, very glad with the work he's put in. And more to that, he's the current general manager of the Gahanga Cricket Stadium. Wait of what 16 years in that Rwandan yellow and blue can amount to. It's been a great service, a fantastic servant for them.
And definitely an engineer by profession, so it's not only just about cricket. And so that's why he played a very crucial role in the construction of this facility. Down the wicket. It's in the air. And just falls short of the man there. Not the shot that Shrindip Mangela should be playing right now. Just trying to hit that into the wind. It will hold up. He's on 30 from 25. They need him for the rest or the majority of the remaining overs.
Well, back to the cricket for me yet again. Fantastic captaincy from Eric out there. He's put his best foot forward and gotten his 2 premier spinners to bowl in tandem. And they've literally gone for nothing. But more importantly, they've picked up 3 valuable wickets in that middle phase of the game.
Again, quick single taken, but well fielded as well. Good stop by Eric. Boundaries have dried up for Uganda. It's been a minute since they got one. We're in the 12th over. The last boundary was in the 6th over. Sweep shot. Is it well placed? No, it's not. They have to run hard and run out. Looking for 2 when it wasn't there. There was a little bit of hesitation in taking the second run because he thought that he had pierced the field to get a boundary. But no. But courtesy of a good throw out in the deep and some lazy running, he will have to go. He thought that there. But that throw, there was no 2 there because they ran the first one quite lazily, thinking that it would be a boundary. And the woos continue for Uganda. And they lose wicket number 6.
Sridip Mangela, his valiant fight out there, managed to amass 32 runs of 27 deliveries. He has been the glue in that Ugandan mid order. He's lost his wicket at a very crucial stage of the game. Again, wicket lost to the miscommunication between the 2 batters out there. But in walks Uganda's captain for the very first time. Fred Achalam, wicketkeeper batter. But he has a massive job to do for his team with bat in hand.
Well, a masterclass of how not to run in between the wickets. You don't assume that it will get to the boundary. You run as hard as you can, especially the first one. That will give you the latitude to come back for a second. But if you just go trotting for the first, then try to sprint on the second, you will be caught short of your ground. And that's exactly what happened to Shrindip Mangela. Uganda 68 for 6. Big shout. That one should have pitching just outside leg stump, going probably with the arm.
Very well bowled yet again. Tried to bowl that straight to trap him, but you can see where the wicketkeeper is in your frame. Bit of a giveaway there. Drifting down the leg side. But it's important for the batters to get that front foot out of the line.
Played with a straight bat. And he'll get off the mark, Fred Achalam. Twelve overs done. It'll be 69 for 6 for Uganda. Fred Achalam got off the mark on the last delivery. And we're just talking about how boundaries have dried up in an attempt to get one. It resulted in a run out because they thought that they had gotten one. It's exactly 6 overs ago when we got the last boundary.
You'd have imagined with the right arm spinner operating from that end, Emil Chiriza, you'd have wanted Fred Achalam to do a lot of the facing of the right-hander. But you can tell that Alpesh chances his arm and his skill set against this quality right arm spinner. The boundaries have dried up, but at least the Ugandans are looking to rotate strike.
Sweep shot. This time they will find the boundary. And they beat the skipper, Eric there. It was just a foot away from him, but too quick for him.
Balls are a bit down the leg side. Easy pickings for Alpesh. Much needed boundary. Breaks the shackles here for Uganda. The projected score quickly drops, obviously, from about that 160 mark Uganda might have been looking for at the start of the proceedings. They'll be looking to get anywhere around that 130, 140 mark if they can.
Cut away to hit the sweep on the offside. Now they're going for 2 because there's a fumble. Martin Akayezu lapse in concentration. And hit the sweeper there. And oopsie daisy. Collecting grasshoppers.
That man has been training on YouTube.
And that one will add to his collection of the tournament.
He's piling them up real quick in this ILT20 Continental Cup powered by Fancode.
Swept again. Eric gives chase. And again he loses out. That was played much finer. And a little bit more pace on it. And so this is a good over for Uganda. And they're able to get about 10 runs off it. Swept well. Not the cleanest of sweep, but it was fine enough of the fielder. Already 11 runs off the over. A delivery to go. Top ball to finish up. It'll be 13 overs done, and there will be 80 for the loss of 6. Fred Achelam, a lot will be asked of this man who's wearing the armband today. Now he will lead the side. Trying to work it onto the onside. A test of the depth of Uganda. That is exactly what's happening here. And also, it'll be a good morale booster for Rwanda in their efforts to try to finish second here in this tournament and book a place in the final. They did well yesterday by beating Botswana. And they now are second. They would want to hold that position. Swept away. Clean hit. Just be one though.
Clean hit, yes. But to take such a big risk to try and get just one run for me is where I have a bit of a challenge. Because it's that same delivery could have simply walked to that vacant mid-wicket region. Obviously, that means you'd have played with a lot straight of a bat to get that same single that you've actually gotten after taking a big risk. That same risk has cost Uganda 2 big mid-order wickets in Raghav Dhawan and the youngster Pascal Murungi. So maybe it's something to think about.
Just working with the turn for 1. But this man has bowled well. Nadir Mohammed bowling his last over. Only 2 remaining deliveries in his allotted 4. He has picked up 3 wickets for only 16 runs. And 3 big wickets. Striking at very crucial moments, he did. 2 LBWs and 1 caught. Well bowled. And this would definitely be a good test of character for the 2 that are here. And that when they do get to such situations and they're out there as regulars in this side of Uganda, how will they fare? Looking to cut it away. Misses out. Nadir Mohammed closes out. He's allotted 4 with a dot ball. And finishes with figures of 3 for 16 in 4 overs at the end of the 14th. Uganda, it'll be 82 for the loss of 4. And on that note, there will be changes in the commentary box. Davis takes a walk. Bob Bashir comes back in. I'll push from Johnny 17 from 14. How crucial will he be? And there will also be a change in the bowling attack for the first time in this game. And it'll be Martin Akayezu who will be put back in the attack, will be brought into the attack, I beg your pardon. And the last 6. Probably this guy is who Uganda will look to target because they have to target one bowler. So you don't want him to settle. Look to attack him pretty early on. He has a look at the field. Apesh counts the fielders that are out in the boundary. As we say, a fair morning to Bob.
Good morning to you, Eli. Beautiful weather, beautiful day of cricket we have here on the cards here at Gahanga International Cricket Ground. That man, shot number 17, Martin Akayezu, of course, brought into the attack from the airport end. Up against the new captain of the day, Fred Achelam, and Alpesh Ramjani, who is moving slowly and steady. Already on 18 or 15.
Wide. And also, that'll be 1 for the over.
Half tracker there.
Well above the shoulders and the head of the batter there. Not a man blessed with great height, Fred Achelam. Fuller, but well played down the track. We just pick up a single. Right, Bob, and put you in the hot seat. You have about 5.4 overs remaining. Where do you feel Uganda will finish off here? 4 wickets in hand.
And of course, given that that man Alpesh Ramjan is still out there in the middle, you'd feel anything around 130. Team Uganda will, of course, stand a chance of getting another win, given, of course, the way Team Rwanda is been relying on the openers. Despite, of course, a couple of good knocks from Izayi, Daniel Gimisenge.
And so according to Bob, Uganda need to accumulate 45 more runs than what they have now. Around the 130 mark is where they should finish off. Oh, another goal for 4. And coming off the helmet right at the back of the head there. And there should be a call for the physio to come through and never check. It was pitched short, but rushed him on, didn't have that much bounce. And in trying to get underneath it, he gets hit right at the back of the head there. Concussion test time. It doesn't look to be okay from the looks of it from here, but the physio will do his work. Get a feeling you'll be asked how many fingers can you see?
They'll, of course, ask him, what hotel are you guys staying at? Those kind of questions.
How many runs have you scored? How many balls have you faced?
Who do you think you're playing in the finals?
Did you ever get hit on the head, Bob?
A lot of times. I wasn't, of course, back in the days, a fan of short deliveries.
You didn't even bother to pull. You just ran away.
Ending up, of course, with my career with one of the players who knew how to duck that short ball.
Alpesh seems okay. Play will resume. I know we all make fun and games of it, but it's an important and crucial process to get checked out there. And it looks okay. Play resumes. With an offer. Just works it wide of the field. This is well placed. Didn't try to hit it too hard. But ever, it'll bring him 4 runs. That's good placement from Ramjani.
Very intelligently done by Alpesh Ramjani, using all the pace of Martin Akayezu. Beating that man at point, Orkidetu Isenge. And the man in the deep, of course, watching it going all the way to the boundary. He can be dangerous if he stays out there, is Alpesh Ramjani at the back end, of course, of the first innings.
Martin Akayezu, this is his first over. 1 more delivery to go. He's gone for 7. Can they finish off well here, Uganda? Another short ball.
He will end, of course, with another short ball. Not a bad over. 7 from his first. Of course, we'll go back to the rules and see if you're allowed to bowl 2 in the over. If I'm not mistaken, he had been warned.
I think those were 2 short balls. But however, an element of height where they were pitched short. But did they get the height to negate them to be short balls?
Of course, given that Alpesh Ramjani had to duck going a little bit low, very low on the occasion.
Yeah,
he gets away with it.
You try to duck on a very low ball. However, we'll get the information from the officials. Jean-Pierre Rukundo will be brought into the attack from the pavilion end. Fred Achelam on strike, 4 from 9. False start is to go back to the top of his run-up and work it out again.
Upish. But there's protection in the deep at long offer. Emir Kiriza who cast it off to only one runner. Big question here to you, Eli. When you look at Jean-Pierre, every time he's been given the ball, he's made an impact. Yesterday he didn't finish his quarter. Bowling only 2 overs with a very good economy of 4. You always felt like Didier Ndikobgimana has not used this young man to his potential. Of course, with the way he variates his pace. Now he joins the party when that man Alpesh from Jani, he has assessed the wicket.
Going to be wide. Well, right. At the back, but Ramjani feeling that was too close to his leg stump. Juggling his feet, falling over. Just the one.
Jean-Pierre Rukundo, with his variation, I always felt like he's that kind of player who brings in that element of surprise to the opposition side. He would love, of course, to capitalize and try to stop the flow of runs at the moment. They know anything above 130. It's not going to be very easy for them to chase down. Driven downtown from the captain, Fred Achelaman. When you look at the way Fred is now striking the ball, 6 of 11, do you think it's because he's been given that responsibility of being a captain?
Takes a quick single. Well, I believe as the captain you can decide where you want to bat and what impact you can have on the game depending on what you're good at. So I think that pretty much that decision was left to him. Don't you think so?
I always felt like in this tournament, of course, every time he has come out to bat is that Manfred, the wicketkeeper batsman. He's made a huge impact, striking it over 150. When you look at that game, of course, yesterday, he was the impact player for me. That 28, where the Yellow Greens lost by 23 runs. You would feel, of course, his impact in that particular game.
Yeah, quite a handy play. He is to do that today. Goes up. There'll be a couple of bounces before it gets to the fielder. Just 4-1. And that will be the end of the 16th over. 16 overs done, and it's Uganda 99 for 6. Martin Akayezu into his second. Went for 7 in the first. They're quick. And they get there. And they pick up the 1.
And of course, with that single, Uganda gets to that 3-digit mark. Henry comes up for the loss of 6 wickets. I feel this is the time for them to step on the pedal. Try and get to that 8+ runs and over, to have a chance of getting to 140 plus. They've been kept quiet, of course, by the men in blue and yellow. Moving at 5.5 runs and over is Team Uganda. Driven again, but straight to that fielder at covers, Mohamed Nadil. Emmanuel, of course, who has made his ball talk, picking up 3 big wickets in this particular fixture. They know, of course, how crucial these last 2 games are is Team Rwanda if they are to play the finals with Uganda, who already secured their spot, still unbeaten in the ILT20 Continental Cup. Driven downtown, and that fielder who chips in a dive goes in vain.
Now this is a welcome boundary. They needed that. Driven hard through the covers. The sweeper, valiant effort to dive to stop it, but it was in vain in the end. 4 runs. And this will be the time that they need to escalate things. Uganda, they've reached the 100 mark, so they'll breathe the first sign of relief. Now it'll be on to the next one. Is where do they finish it off? 5 runs from the over from here. How many more can they get?
How many more is the big question here from the man Eli. Into the pads are flicked straight to that man. Eric Dusingizimana, the captain of the day. He's been a live wire, of course. It is his last game in those colors. He's been, of course, a good servant for his country. One of the reasons, Eli, we are seated here in the commentary box doing live commentary is because of that man. The contribution he's made is immense, making sure we have a ground, this one, Gahanga International Cricket Ground, for, of course, that number he's putting on his back, 51, holding that Guinness record for the longest net. What a player he has been.
Oh, definitely. Of absolute amazing service. Does deserve to lead a side in his last game, but he's doing one well with leading the side. Well played. They have Uganda on 105 for 6 into the 17th over, courtesy of his leadership. Just showing also the service that is given to the country. Doing well. Just get a feeling maybe he should have led the whole entire tournament the side. Who knows, maybe it could be Rwanda at the top of the table.
Two more deliveries from Martin Akayezu's over. Basically outside edge on that occasion. Cramping in from room is Martin Akayezu, of course, with the pace. And we come to the end of the 17th. It is 106 for 6. Last 18 deliveries here, Eli. With Alpesh and the captain Fred. How many more was the question earlier? Can they add to the total? That man, Alpesh from Jani, the first game, of course, against Team Botswana. He put on a show of his own, getting to the first half century in the tournament. Taking a liking of that man, Tatayone Tsoy's last over, going for 28. The biggest so far in the tournament. He's still out there for his 29 over 25. He has a long off, long on, deep extra cover. And the deep square leg.
Top ball to start things off. And there's 18 deliveries, or rather 17 that remain. They'll be very important for Uganda. When we see a change of things, Alpesh Ramjani, 29 from 26. Punch into the offside. Just one.
Very smartly done by Jean-Pierre Rukundo. Given, of course, that he has a third man inside the ring and fine leg, you would expect him to cut off the whole pace, allowing them to hit into the bigger part of the ground where he has protection. And they bring in, of course, that man, Oscar Manishimwe, a short mid to cut off those singles. Takes a little shimmy is Fred.
There we go. Intentions have been made clear. It's time for everything to go. Fred Achelam dancing down the wicket. I could feel the wind of that one right here in the box. He wants to get things going here. And everybody that's on the boundary line, better stay on your toes. Tries to go on. Good call to send him back because Fred Achelam was in no position to get to the non-striker's end. But what is important that it's another dope ball. Jean-Pierre Rukundo coming in towards the death end here. He's bowled 4 deliveries, 3 of them dots, 1 single.
You tell from the scorecard 107 for 6 after 17.4. They have done a magnificent job. Up! The young Isai doesn't even bother as he tells that man there on the mound enjoying the game to give him that ball. That's the captain as he breaks the shackles is Fred. Hitting one out of the park.
No, that's the effect. You get hit for a maximum, you lose your line in length, and you give an extra. You done well until that delivery number 5. And the screws just came off. A one-handed shot by Fred Achelam. A little bit slow, we say 14 from 18, but he's looking to escalate things. Goes big again. And it'll be 1 bounce and 4. So it's a good over. You pick up 12 runs from it.
Look at that on the replay. Change of pace again into the pads, flicked into the vacant region from the captain. 1 bounce for 4. Very big over indeed. Given now that 12 deliveries to come in the first innings, this is now where Uganda can be very dangerous.
And you're still going with the 130. Last chance for you to change up things.
I'll stick to 130.
I going with 130. They're on 180 now. You don't want to change it up? Could be 140.
Given that you haven't won any single beta, Eli, I'll give you 2 chances in the next 12 deliveries. To be precise, I'll give you another chance.
I am the one asking the questions.
For the last.
Zappy Morris Pimenyumana sent into orbit. Greeted with a maximum. It will take Uganda to 124, but that would be a magnificent start to the over. A half tracker, a half volley, met on the full. Full face of the bat it got. Moves Alpesh Ramjani to 36 from 28. Slow delivery, played straight again. This will be another one. It'll be back-to-back boundaries. It'll be 10 runs off the first 2. The slower delivery, but could not deceive Alpesh Ramjani. He waited and waited for it.
A very good shot again. Full on that occasion by Zappy Menyimana. No chance whatsoever in his follow-through. Straight as a die from Alpesh. How many more is the question here? Is Zappy going to leak in this?
Alpesh moves to 40. 40 from 29. 128 for the loss of 6 at the moment, Uganda. 4 remaining deliveries in the over. Bottom edge.
Top ball, looking to work it leg side. We'll have a chat with his captain. Zappy Morris Pimimana bowling his last over. Halfway through, it has gone for 10 in the first 3. 3 more deliveries to think about. Here we go. Thicker shots at edge. There's no fielder there. It'll be boundary number 3 from the over. Everybody behind the wicket keeper is inside the 30-yard circle. No third man. Was looking to play him straight, but found a thicker shots at edge that went over short third. 2 more deliveries to think about. You have gone for 14. A huge over this is taken out to be. Alpesh moves to 44. He needs 1 big hit to get to half century. It'll be second of the tournament if he does get there. Play straight. And hit the fielder. One more to go. The 130 comes up. $133 to be exact for the loss of 6 with a delivery to go in the 19th. I gave you an opportunity to scale upwards. Last ball of the 19th. Here we go. Play down, well bowled. It'll be 1, but it'll be a huge over. 16 runs off the 19th. 134 for the loss of 6 after 19. A huge over, as you can see. I'm talking about over number 19. The other big over that they had was in over number 6 when they went for 13. But Rwanda had brought things back. But towards the latter stages from over number 15, as you can see, they keep getting taller and taller and taller.
One of the reasons, of course, that those men in yellow and red are still unbeaten. They have a way, they pack a punch at the back end of the innings, making sure they get to a very good total to defend. It's going to be Inyas Nirenganya to finish from the pavilion end. The big question here is the captain going to take on Inyas, or is he going to get Alpesh back on strike? Because bigger. There's a fielder in the deep part, third man, Mati Akayezu, who can still off to only 1 run.
And the last over here, how many can they get? Alpesh from Johnny is on strike, 45 from 32. It'll be an ideal setup from him. If he decides to go the offside route, he'll be hitting with the wind. However, if he goes leg side, he's hitting it into the wind and to the longer side of the boundary. But however, it's presented with a huge vacant area as from mid-wicket region right down to deep backward square. It's a huge carver today. But however, the offside is looking enticing. Everyone is inside the 30-yard circle. Goes straight up. It holds up in the air. Who wants it? It'll fall short. He wants 1. He wanted to come back, but he only settled for 1. Good bowling from Ignace.
And a very good partnership from that man, Fred Achelam. Making sure Alpesh from Johnny has someone, a recognized batsman to bat with to close off, of course, the first innings. He's been, of course, very handy in his last 3 games. He's Fred, the wicketkeeper batsman.
Rocks on the back foot. We'll find a deep backward square. But importantly, Ramjani will be on strike on 46. A big partnership it is, this one. 69-run partnership between these two. So they've done well to dig Uganda out of what looked like a very, very deep hole. They have a reasonable amount of runs to defend. But how many more can they get in the 3 remaining deliveries? Will Alpesh get the 4 that he needs to get to 50?
And of course, that man, Fred, the back-to-back 50 partnerships in the middle.
Second shot side edge. And the 50 will come up with a fortuitous boundary. He threw everything at it, the kitchen sink, and together with the water. And it sails away to the boundary and picks up a 4, picks up a 50, 34, ball 50.
Outside offer, batting deep into his crease. Fortune, of course, favors the Brave as he gets his second half century of the tournament. He's held forth for his side, wickets falling from the other end and making sure he bats out all the overs to give Uganda a very good target and total. Shot on that occasion, you would feel he has missed out is Alpesh from Jani on that half tracker from Inyasi Nirenganya.
And Alpesh from Jani, a 34-50, striking 7 4s and 1 maximum. And Fred Achelam has been handy. He's been there on the non-striker's end for much of the time, but when he is faced, he's made great use of it. 21 from 22. What does he do with the last delivery? Goes big, whacks it leg side, and says, you take that. I want 6 from that delivery and move to 27 to finish off things. What a hit. Uganda will be 2 runs short of 150, but 148 they will gladly take it because things looked pretty dicey towards the latter stages, but this partnership comes in handy. 2 short in the slot, muscled away for 6. No better way to end the innings for Uganda from the captain of the day. And so Fred Achelam putting a brilliant effort there, but that's the betting card. The top order failed to fire. Raghav Dhawan got 14. Shrindip Mangela, a 1-32 from 27. But the biggest contributions will be Alpesh from Jani with 51 from 35 and Fred Achelam's 27 from 23, providing that 70-plus partnership towards the end.
And the bowling card there from Team Rwanda. Of course, that man, Inyasi Nirenganya, once again going for 9 runs and over. He picked up earlier on the wicket of Simon Sesazi. But that man, Nadil, very impressive figures there. Picking up 3 wickets, going for 16 in his 4 overs. And Martin Akayezu, very tidy with his 2 overs, going for only 14.
Let's have a look at the highlights of how things started off. A game in which Rwanda started on top of things. They struck early. The captain of the day with the catch. Mareva, runs started flowing as partnerships were trying to be built there. Mareva, easy wickets were given away. The top order failing to fire. And on a couple of occasions there were a bit of some boundaries that they were able to get. Some good strike from Shrindip Mangela, who played an essential role up front before he was given LBW there. Nadir Muhammad started to weave a web, and in that web he picked up wickets regularly. Even Danish Kumar Nakrani could not be of use today for Uganda, courtesy of some brilliant bowling. Then Alpesh from Jani came on, and then there was some really shoddy piece of running that saw Shrindip Mangela go back. Alpesh came in and he started to build an innings, getting a few fine or a fine leg. Got a hit, but that's one you take one for the team. But he played some sublime shots, neatly timed, piercing the offside on numerous occasions. Then also some power hitting that he also showed and exhibited into getting his second 50 off the game, playing some brilliant shots down the track. Great use of the feet, fortunate occasions as fortune favors the brave. And that's how he got to his half century. And this is how the innings was ended by the captain of the day, Fred Achelam for Uganda, getting a maximum of the last delivery. So 148 is what Uganda are able to get. Do join us for the chase to see how Rwanda go about things. ILT20 Continental Cup powered by Fancode. Uganda taking on the host Rwanda. And Rwanda won the toss. They chose to bowl first. This is what Uganda were able to amass. They have top order, never got going. Simon Sesazi and Robinson Abuya went for cheap. Raghav Dhawan tried to get off with 14 from 16. But Shriti Magila well made 32 from 27. But the stand-up performance will be Alpesh Ramjani, second 50 of the tournament, with 51 runs from 35 deliveries that he faced. And then the captain, a very impressive 27 from 23. The bowling card. Also, quite a number of bowlers used, but the standout will be Nadeem Mohammed, who used it quite well. 3 from 4 overs that he bowled for 16 runs. Magnificent effort. 13 extras were given away. A little bit expensive, you would say. And the chase is about to begin. And Habib, the umpire from Nigeria that you see in your pictures there. The huddle for Uganda as they prep to see what they can do here. There'll be notes to share, words from the captain in terms of how they will defend. It's total that they were able to amass. .149 becomes the target for those two men that you see out there. Didier doesn't have the armband today. Might feel a little bit lighter. He's got only to worry about his efforts with the bat. It's a few knock just to keep your eye in or get your eye in. My name is Tawanda Eli. I'll be in the commentary box to give you proceedings of how things will be going here. And then I'll be joined by Davis Krajani. It's a good morning, Davis.
Good sign, brighty morning, you would say. The Hunger Cricket Stadium.
160 was your target. Feel the 148 will be good enough even to defend.
Based on how well Rwanda started with ball in hand, you felt that they managed to peg Uganda back early, so Uganda will be glad to get that 148 on the back of a middle knock from Alpesh Ramjani yet again. But the men in your frame, the opening combo for Rwanda, high scoring combo. This is Oscar Manishiwe alongside Didier Ndikubimana. They're very quick out of the blocks, generally like to run well between the wickets, very strong outside of stump. Even better down the ground.
Now, if these two get into their gears, you feel like this should be an attainable target for Rwanda. But however, you say that it depends on the opposition. You can say attainable, but it's not like the other guys will be just holding eggs. And they'll be giving it everything that they have.
These two will obviously know that they've already had success in the tournament. They chased them at 138 against Botswana without losing a wicket in just under 16 overs. So they will know that they do have a lot of ability. But they will be up against a very, very good bowling attack in Uganda. And here we go.
Off the mark straight away. With the booming drive outside off stump, Oscar Manishiwe finds third man.
What did you reckon, Eli, about the standing captain for Uganda's knock, Fred Achalam? He's been very, very good with the bat in hand in this tournament. Played some handy knocks, had an opportunity to open in the inning, got 25 the other day, then followed it up with another late 20. But the way he batted today to allow Alpesh Ramjani find an able partner when Uganda needed one with that responsibility of being captain.
I think he did a good job. A stellar of a performance, you would say. Because if you're in the likes of Alpesh Ramjani, you don't need to worry about what's happening on the other end. And so Fred provided Alpish with that opportunity to focus on his scoring areas without worrying about the other partner. But it wasn't just that he was keeping his wicket, but he was also scoring runs. You saw that big six that he hit on the last delivery. It just gave him a better strike rate to finish off things. 117, scoring 27 from 23, 1-4 and 2 sixes was Fred.
Couldn't have got any better. But you can see a very clear and distinct plan from Juma Miyagi this morning. He's been found guilty for having bowled a bit too wide, allowing batters a lot of width, but you can see he's looking to cramp them for room today. And he's not operating anywhere beyond that fourth stump line.
Juma Miyagi, 5 matches he's played in the tournament, picked up 3 wickets at the cost of only 28 runs. All looking to heave it leg side.
Good intentions there from Didi, unable to get much bat on it. Clearly he's been cramped for room, beaten for pace, you would say.
Best figures for Juma will be 2 for 12. I'd ask for your apologies. I say 28 runs. 28 runs is what he scored with the bat, but he's conceded 65 while bowling for the 3 wickets that he has in the 5 matches that he's played. And the quicker one, massive bounce extraction from the surface. Looking at that area, zoning it just outside of stump.
Speaking Juma Miyagi, he is from that class of 2002. That under-19 team that made it to that World Cup in the West Indies. A team 2022. Apologies. That side was coached by another former cricketer for Uganda, Ivan Tawithamwira, captained by Pasco Murungi, who is on the field, and Joseph Baguma fielding at mid-on.
Oh, great use of the feet. Gets a massive connection. There'll be a few bounces as it gets to the boundary, but the sound of that bat was a sweet music to end the over.
Look at another replay. Clearly, familiar tactics from Oscar Manishure. Likes to give himself some room, and he does that excellently.
After the first over, Rwanda 6 for no loss.
The man in your frame there was more than decent with bat in hand in the first inning. Alpesh Ramjani, recently adjudged International Cricketer of the Year, the Uganda Cricket Association Awards. He is going to be opening the bowling from that airport end. He will know just how important it is for him to be on the money, not to allow these Rwandan batters to get quickly out of the blocks. Exactly what they'll be looking for. Pesh Ramjani, one of those three-dimensional cricketers. Very good with both ball and bat, but it's an electric field as well. He is on the button first up. He will look to bowl very straight. Look to clutter into those stumps or trap batters LBW. His line of attack is always attacking those 3 stumps. There it is yet again. Back-to-back boundaries. Dot balls. Getting a little excited here, Eli.
I was about to ask, did I miss something? You'll end up on YouTube. Use of the feet. And he'll find the fielder well placed. He just spawn.
I don't think Oscar will require any more sighters. You'll know that he'll look to try and give himself room down the leg side and now open up that vacant extra cover region. He's very strong in that area. This should be a good contest. The matchup is obviously in Alpesh from Gianni's favor, but you'll know that Oscar Manishiwa has been the man in form for Rwanda. He scored the most runs for them in T20 internationals this year.
Oh, a beautiful delivery, a gem one. Creeping on the surface, holding its line, trying to play for the turn. Well bowled. Again, not a convincing shot coming forward. End of the second over. Only one from that second over. 7-4. No loss, Rwanda. Didier Ndikubimwana in your picture has played a crucial role in the opening pair for Uganda, who was the more aggressive in their last game versus Botswana. They sort of just shift in between who's aggressive depending who feels that it's their day, these two. Oh, big booming drive. Playing away from the body, not in control of that shot. This for me will be a great test for these two. There we go again, just there, away from his body, ended up looking up. You don't want to be in that kind of a position. You want your head over that ball. Why do I say this is a good test? Because they've been facing medium pace bowlers quite a lot and they love it when it comes onto the bat, but this time this is a great test of speed coming through. And plays it with the angle. Now run away for 4. Magnificent strike from Didier, helping it on its way. This wasn't outside off stump, it was just in line with the stumps and helped it on its way.
Very well struck there by Didier. I just feel like the two batters for Rwanda very similar in style. I wouldn't exactly call them pitch hitters. They look to play their strokes. Their stroke players look to pierce gaps. Both very strong outside off stump. They like to come down the wicket, put on those dancing shoes, especially against the spinners, even the seam bowlers. So as you rightly said, I think it's normally a case of who is actually having the better day to become the aggressor.
And that one into the block hole. Didier is worried about his bat. He lost the bat in the other game versus Botswana. You got a tiny crack. You get a feeling maybe it's the same bat because you can look that it's taped right at the bottom there. And I was asking about Davis, like, did he have a favorite bat? And he said, just use one.
As a tail end, I didn't need many, really.
Bowled him. Trying to come down the wicket and trying to create room on the leg side. Beaten for pace on a straightish delivery. And off stump gets rocked. Rwanda lose their first. Straight it was. And Juma Miyagi will fly with the cranes. Didier goes for 6 of 10. Rwanda lose their first.
And the new man in is shot number 51, Eric Dusingizimana, the captain of the day, walking in to bat for the last time in those colors. He's been, of course, a very good servant of this game and for his nation.
Another man that has been of great service to his nation. And crucial in raising funds for the construction of this particular facility that we're on. Besides the work that he's done as a national team player, he's calling it time on a magnificent career, you would say.
61 matches for his nation. 59 innings. 3 not outs. The second player putting on those colors to cross 1,000 runs. With the highest, of course, of 66 not out. Taking his guard for the last time is Eric Dusingizimana.
Yeah, it's quite handy as well within the field. Taking 10 catches in his T20 career. Born 21 March 1987. 37 years of age. And he feels it's time. But however, before he calls it a day, he has to do work with the bat. I'm looking at a target of 149, 11 already chipped away from that total.
Not only work with the bat, he is yet to get off the mark in this ILT20 Continental Cup, powered by Fancode. Of course, he would love to get that single first up. Last ball up against the speedster Juma Miyaji. Straight into the block hole. He gets off the mark. Run out chance on that occasion. A round of applause, of course, for that single taken by the captain of the day, Eric Dusingizimana.
Well, it's as if he scored the winning run when he takes that single. Man, that was close, you would say. You'll be a sign of relief. There we go. Just punching it down the track, but it was a magnificent throw from Pascal Murungi. And he was well in. Puff of dust just shows you the effort of the bat digging deep into the surface.
Young Pascal Murungi would look at this replay back at the hotel and of course know if he had make that mistake of running Eric out without getting that single, Eli.
That'll be a sore one. But would that be a mistake to run him out? This is battle, man. But it's good to see. 3 overs done. 12 for 1 Rwanda. Eric on strike. And facing Alpesh Ramjani.
Up against, of course, in his last game of his career, a man who has troubled him. Alpesh Ramjani. Eric Dusingizimana who has scored 233 runs against Team Uganda in his career. He has a sleeping place.
Works it onto the onside. And gets a single. Every run that he's scoring is being cheered on here. And the crowd that has come through, they understand that this is his man's last game, so they would want to celebrate him as much as they can.
I'll tell you, Eli, this is a man who once dreamt of playing for the national team back in 2004 at the early stages, of course, of his cricketing career. Ending up, of course, making his debut 2 years down the road. 2006, of course. He went on, of course, to be the captain of the side in 2011, leading his team, of course, to qualify from Division 3 back in Accra, Ghana. Being a captain for close to 7 years for Team Rwanda is Eric Dusingizimana. One of the reasons Rwanda have the best facilities in terms of grounds in this region is that man, shot number 51 out there with Oscar Manishimwe, for his record, the Guinness record of the longest bat in the nets of 51 hours, to make sure we get that fundraising back in London to build this particular ground. And with that dot ball, we come to the end of the 4th over. 13 for 1 is what the scoreboard reads. You see on your screens shot number 51. who had a very good career, a very good knock, I would say, in the year of 2022. Scoring 462 runs in that season. If you are to talk about that man there on your screens, it will take you 3 to 4 days. What a servant he has been.
Great servant. Danish Kumanakrani into the attack. Trying to target the stumps. Would have been going down leg side, I feel. People's hearts were in their mouth for a moment. Yeah, going down leg. Hits it leg side. And targeting the smaller side of the boundary. And finds a vacant region. And that's a good shot.
Only, of course, getting off the mark. He has managed to pick up a boundary, rolling his fingers down, straying down to the leg side from Alpesh. I beg your pardon, Dinesh Kumar Nakrani. And that man, Eric, gets a boundary, much needed. They will need, of course, to get to anything close to 35 in the power play to start a chance of getting their second victory against Team Uganda.
Straighter this time around. You hit the only man out in the boundary on the long onside. Oh, leading edge. And taken. Easy. Soft dismissal, you'd say. Trying to work it leg side. But gets a leading edge. Oscar Manishimwe will have to depart. Danish Kumar Nakradi applies a vital blow.
Big wicket it is. The informer, Oscar Manishimwe, has to depart. The two openers inside the power play. They're back into the dugout.
Well, both openers that have been brilliant for Rwanda this time around. Not much effort that they can put through. Gone for 5 is Manishimwe. $18 for 2, Rwanda.
Isayi Nyamugabo, that man, the hero on that game where they registered their ever win against the Yellow Greens, joins Eric Dusingizimana. 18 for 2 after 4.4. I would love to see these two new batsmen at the crease. Closing off, of course, the power play without losing another wicket. With the score close to 30. Sticking to the same fielder for the new man in is Dinesh Kumar Nakrani. He has a long gone in play, the young Baguma.
Trying to pierce the field, square of the wicket. Finds a well-placed fielder. Another opportunity for this young man in your picture, Isayi Mugabo, to play a crucial role for his team. He did it well in the game that you just mentioned. This is another opportunity for him to do so. A little chip on leg side. He should be able to get a couple here. That's good. Great awareness that only 2 fielders are outside the circle. So anyway that you hit it, not those fielders up, you get runs. 5 overs done, 20 for 2, Rwanda.
Obviously, the outside edge is Alpesh Ramjani. He has a sleeping play. He has a deep square leg. Is Simon Sesazi in the deep. Of course, that's a slug sweep. Cuts it back straight to the fielder at pointer. Another dot ball from Alpesh Ramjani, who's been very impressive with the ball. This time round, he comes in to ball in the power play.
Work leg side again. He'll find the fielder, but importantly, gets a run. 129 needed from 88. Still a workable equation, you would say, for Team Rwanda. They'll need few people to put their hands up. This man in your picture will have to do that. Play the long game. Get contributions from the other side. Give yourself a chance. Believe that you can do it. Oh, not like that. If you play like that, you won't stick around much, especially against Alpesh Ramjani.
Almost taking the off stump on that occasion. Flighted, getting some patches is Alpesh Ramjani. Much better from Isaini Omugabo, working it to the onside for yet another single. Talking about the batsmen coming in at number 4, 5, 6. You would love, of course, to see their contribution. Try and see if they can give the best send-off to that man, Eric Dusingizimana. Rocks back on the back foot. Not enough timing, but we will be very happy to pick up a single to add to that total.
$23 for 2 after 6. Let's have a look at the power play. Not much action has happened. That was the blistering shot that Oscar Manishingwe played. Didier also had one shot, and that was before he was sent back to the pavilion. And also, Eric got things going. And a leading edge of Danish Kumar Nakrani, so the back of Oscar Manishingwe. And the 2 wickets to fall within the power play. Only 23 runs scored in there.
Dinesh to ball his second over from the pavilion end. Cut away powerfully on that occasion, but who find the man in the deep. The field is now spread. Dinesh Nakrani, who has a deep extra cover, long off, long on. And the third man in play. I would love to see Eric and Isaini Omugabo trying to get to that 7-1 and over. To stand, of course, a chance of getting closer and closer to that 124. By signal by the umpire. A swing and a miss on that occasion from Isaini Omugabo, trying to hit Dinesh Nakrani over the top.
Changes in field. Now there's a deep square leg, and then there's a deep cow corner. Big heave. And gone. Well, that'll be it. The curtain will come down on this man's career, trying to heave Danish Kumar Nakrani leg side. He will get handshakes from everyone on the field of play. They will appreciate his efforts, how he came onto the scene of play and was able to get a career out of playing this wonderful game. He'll be given a send-off with many people that he has played this game with for quite a number of years. A career that has been beautiful. not only with efforts for the team, but also for future generations that will come through here to Gahanga Cricket Stadium. They will pay tribute to him. There will be a guard of honor from both sides. He will walk in the middle there. It'll be an emotional time for him. Because, like you mentioned back when he started out his career, in no time, he's calling it time to hang up his bat. Standing ovation from every team member that is here. Uganda, Nigeria, Botswana, they stand in ovation, but the man that he will value them are those ones in the yellow and blue. He will shake hands with everyone. A befitting send-off for a great man who's done magnificent work for his country. A very emotional scene, you would say. Never easy. Coaches from Uganda, coaching staff, many that he's played against. He thanking for his service. Emotional moment, even Bob Songa here. Very emotional. It's been a brilliant career.
Well, as Bob puts use to his handkerchief, he will take a break from the commentary box. But Eli, not many things under the sun will give you some aspect of immortality, but sport is one of those very few. And Eric will know that he's etched his name alongside the greatest sporting contributors of Rwandan sport.
Now this will be embedded in the memories of many Rwandan players, and also for his family to know that what he has done has gone noticed, and personally for his own sake that he has done something with his life that will last for generations to come. Not many people you see in the game have done what he has done, especially coming from associate nations where you have limited resources, but you're able to put yourself in that position to be selfless. Magnificent. But the picture that I loved the most was to see everyone, the guard of honor, not only from Rwanda, but as well as from Uganda, as we come to the end of the 7th over. 26 for 3.
Well, and just to give you context, Eli, the far and few opportunities that come with associate cricket for a cricketer to sacrifice and put in 16 years of their youthfulness to represent their nation. It's not something that does come around pretty often, but back to the cricket. Henry Senyondo would be operating from that airport end. A good time to bowl. You'll know that Rwanda they are in a spot of bother. 26 for the loss of 3 wickets, chasing a mammoth 149. Wild slog, you will say, there from Orchide. It's important for him to look to knock it around, build a bit of a partnership. 2 new batters on the wicket.
You took the words right out of my mouth. Have a look first. Take a leaf from the men that just left the scene. Better. Get the one. Get to the non-striker's end. Have a look at how the surface is behaving. Give yourself time. Settle the nerves. 122 needed from 75. Good shot. Didn't try to hit it too hard. Taking the top edge out of it. Just easily negotiating it leg side.
Isaye Nwomugabo has perhaps been one of the very, very few batters in the tournament who have been successful with that sweep shot on this kind of wicket. It appears like his go-to shot to simply look to try and rotate strike.
Beaten all ends up.
Didier for me comes across again as those batters, just like we saw the one earlier in that first inning. They take that very late trigger and they are not in a stable base by the time the ball is being delivered, making them late to pick the line and length up.
Yeah, but also for Akira, he takes the step. It doesn't go with the bat. 8 overs done, 28 for 3. Youth in action. Joseph Baguma being given the ball now to bowl the 9th over. A different side of Rwanda we're seeing from the one that was bowling earlier on. Goes for the sweep shot. Doesn't get there. Indicating that it came off his elbow. The umpire thought it came off his helmet. Better playing it straight.
Half-hearted drive there from Isaye. Was a bit of a half chance. Never got to the pitch of that delivery, but still went through with the hands. Very fortunate that did not go straight to Baguma. But good to see, a couple of weeks ago you felt that those that took a close look at Baguma, his action, seemed to be stepping on that ball increase. But this time you can see that he's a lot straighter in his release point. And that is what you want to see, a young man look to improve and only get better. He'll know that he has a lot of bowlers to bowl for the Cricket Cranes in that yellow and red. Oh, that's the one that goes the other way. It's totally beaten. Rachide appears clueless out there. He's struggling at 2 off 10. It would be helpful for him to just simply look to knock it around. Try and put together a bit of a partnership here.
No, they're trying. And that'll be a better ploy to try and just negate it for singles than maybe look for a boundary ball if it is there. Because every time you try to heave it leg side and you're beaten, you find that you've conceded 3 dot balls by trying to go big and you haven't scored anything. A bit of a fumble there. Henry does the cleaning up. Nine overs done. It's 32 for the loss of 3. I did say that it's like a different side that we're seeing here. I'll have to see a little bit more from Rwanda. Down the track. Played straight.
Well, little shimmy down the wicket there from Mochide. Hits that down to long on. A better area for him to try and get runs than try to go too square on the onside.
Now trying to use the power. You could see him really winding that up because there's not much pace to work with from Senyondo's bowling. He takes the pace off. And so you need to have an effort. Oh, they say he looks to be in pain. I think it is from the way in which he played that shot.
Horrible sights there. We'll be hoping that he hasn't popped his shoulder.
I think that, yeah, have a look at that because he really wound himself up there, trying to generate power in that shot, and he looked to be in pain. He is not okay. Unfortunate. Batting cards for Rwanda there. Oscar Manishuga departed for 5 of 11. Didi Ndikupimana 6 from 10. That pair that normally gets things going for Rwanda never got going. Eric Ndusingizimana's career coming to an end with 10 from 13.
Looking at the bowling card there for Uganda. Success already for the national crony. He's picked up 2 wickets, gone for just 9 runs in his 2 overs. Henry Senyondo's picked up none so far. He's only gone for 4 runs in his 1.2. Joseph Baguma has bowled 1 over, gone for 4 runs. Juma Miyagi started things off, picking up that 1 wicket for 11 runs. Alpesh Ramjani, who was more than decent with bat in hand, has gone for just 5 runs in his 3 overs without picking a wicket. Uganda will be the happy of the 2 sides. They do have Rwanda at 34 for the loss of 3 after 9.2 overs. Rwanda need 115 from just 10 and 10.4 overs.
This is early on. Send off for Eric Ndusugizimana. This was beautiful. Just to see your opponents appreciating your time out in the middle, in the days that you have played together, providing headaches for each other. And those claps, especially from the likes of Robinson Obuya and Simon Sesazi, they would have faced off quite a number of times. And they send him off with nothing but love from a brother. Even Team Nigeria and Team Botswana as well, clapping for him and appreciating the work that he's done as a player and as a man who is investing into the development of cricket youth in Rwanda as well as in other nations, because his efforts see the likes of Nigeria coming through to play here, the likes of Botswana coming through to play here because of the development of this cricket facility. And then his team as well, loving him for the man that he has been, from captaining them, mentoring them, and being a crucial part in that dressing room that they will see no more. A cricket career that is lasted for quite a number of years, but his efforts will last for a lifetime.
I think it's from that I'll also look to simply just build on. I give a lot of credit to Lawrence Maatlani and in particular Rwanda Cricket Association to ensure and having the sense to know that a person who has served at 16 years surely deserves a memorable send-off for the work that he's put in on the field. So for them to go out of their way to allow him that opportunity, a privilege that not many sporting players or contenders or legends never even get. So kudos and hats off to Rwanda Cricket Association and Lawrence Maatlani, allowing him that opportunity.
Or you might just send me to join Bob and wipe some tears away. Beautifully and well said. Swings his bat, looking for that deep pocket, but able fielders will be there operating in that region. Trying to add some little bit of impetus is Okide. Needs to get going. He wants that 113 from the 62. Comes down the track. Swing and a miss. A simple, soft dismissal. He didn't want to hang around there too long. Wanted to get things going. Henry Senyondo His bowling efforts brings a wicket. That'll be wicket number 4.
Flighted delivery from Henry Senyodo, a tactic he likes to enjoy. Get some patches. Orchide is nowhere near that. Fred Achelam, the captain of the day, completes an easy stamping dismissal. He's sent back. He scored 6 of 15 runs. His troubles continue. He scored 6 runs off 15 balls. Correction there. Tuisinge Orchide will not be glad with his work, but I think for me it's really a case of self-destructing. He's not been beaten so far in the tournament, but his ability, he's basically picked up a talent of finding a way of getting himself out whenever he has felt like.
Well said. Couldn't have said it any better. Self-destruction mode. Yes, the idea is good. The knowledge of what you need to do is good, but the execution, well, leaves a lot to be desired. Senyondo continuing. 10 overs completed halfway through the innings. 36 for the loss of 4 Rwanda. And we look at the two worms of these two teams. Slowly but surely working away from it. Not as bad as I thought it would be, but there are lots of bumps there. And it's well under that of Uganda. Joseph Waguma in for his second, just went for 4 in the first one. I'll get an opportunity to get a little bit more experience out in the middle. If he can pick up wickets here, it'll be important. Up in the air. Anyone under it, it'll fall short of Danish Kumana Krani. Run out chance. The throw is off. Smiles from Joseph Baguma. He knew how close that was.
Pearl ball there from the youngster. He's had his troubles stepping on that popping crease, but now he's looking to bowl a lot closer to the stumps. Gone for the other delivery that goes the other way. Did not get it pitch perfect, but you did see that it actually turned the other direction. Surprised Desire. Doesn't look injured at all. He looks good to go.
Looks to cut it. That's the magic of the medical department. Haven't you seen it in soccer? You see somebody is dying, but after a spray of water, they are back to life.
Yeah, something pretty common. A lot of those athletes will appear like they've just been shot by a sniper. Second they get a refereeing decision going in their direction, they're up and running, good to go.
Not too sure what decision you get from the umpire that will aid you in cricket. Maybe some time out to rest. You get some fluids. But it's good to see him up and ready to go. 11 of 13.
You play for over 20 years, you run into some players. I've run into some players that the ball will come off their glove. They get caught by the keeper and they will quickly look to try and rub their elbows. But more often than not, the umpires are alive to it.
Desperate attempts to get a run on that occasion. Really trying to get things going. But the engine still in park, you would say, for Rwanda. Big efforts up in the air this time around. Still falls in a vacant region. Hands to his waist. Joseph Waguma doesn't believe it. On the last delivery, still can't get the breakthrough. 11 overs done. It'll be 41 for the loss of 4.
The task at hand for Rwanda, they require 108 runs of 54 balls. Job not getting any easier. Henry Senyondo is continuing to operate from that airport end. Much better from Isaiah for me. As the last over, he just looked like a shadow of his previous self. He's batting pretty well in the tournament so far, but in that last over and perhaps his inning, he's looked like he's trying to get himself out. Very well played there from that young all-rounder, Jean-Pierre Rukundo. We saw him with ball in hand. We haven't seen much of him yet with bat in hand, but he walks into this game with a bit of a big reputation as a fast-rising all-rounder for Rwanda cricket.
There we go. Looking to amp up things. The idea is good. The execution, far from it. Getting on top of that one. Punching it down the ground. If only there was someone to get a word to the batters in the middle. Don't hit it into the wind. Try to target the offside. You better chances of cleaning the boundary. Oh, quicker delivery.
I think for me, an extra thing I probably want to let them know is that I think they are trying to hit the ball too hard or too far, and they end up losing their shape. Very well ball there from Henry. He's getting some patches of the wicket. Turn and bounce. Finds the outside edge. There is no fielder. Just like that yet again. Looking to hit the ball too hard and too far. Losing their shape. But with that dot ball brings an end to the 12th. Rwanda 44 for 4. And the youngest ox spinner continues to operate from that pavilion end, Joseph Baguma. You look at that delivery, comes out from the front side of the hand and turns the other way. It is a delivery he has looked to develop.
Appeals, the umpire. The finger will be raised. Nimugaba will be put out of his misery. 14 from 19. He has to go. He tried to play some aggressive shots, but it wasn't coming out. Joseph Baguma finally is rewarded. Faintest of ages there. And he's stuck there until you waited for the signal from the umpire. And that he's out. Goes for 14 from 20.
Long vigil comes to an end. Rwanda lose their 5th. And it is a man in form. But with that wicket in walks Emil Ruchiriza. First of the Rwandan all-rounders. He's looked to get better and better with ball in hand. We're yet to see any meaningful contribution from him with bat in hand. But Kia, you reckon, Eli, it's just simply knocking it around, put a partnership together. The score might be nowhere close to touching distance, but get some very, very much needed experience against this very solid bowling lineup from Uganda.
Five gone, 5 remaining. I guess this is just an opportunity for Uganda to polish their bowling teeth, sharpen them a bit more. An opportunity for Joseph Baguma to try also new things. Oh yes, big shouts. Maybe could have been an issue of height there, but the bounce definitely turned him inside out. Have a look at that.
Another example of that delivery that goes the other way. He balls it from the front of the hand. Big decision there by the umpire. Emilio Cheriza beaten. Good to see the youngster continue to try to get that delivery to perfection. It will take a while, but good to see him not being phased by the moment. Joseph Baguma will only look to keep getting better. And this experience will be immeasurable to that success curve that you will have.
Goes a swing. Just pick up one. I'm sure even Juma Miyagi will be happy that was hit to him. Just to loosen his legs a bit. Fishing. And I'll be given as wide. The umpire very protective of that line. Close. Very close. Again he goes for that one. But this time I felt that one was a little bit outside the line. Stays in. 13 overs done. 47 for 5. Have a look at the Manhattans. Stunted growth, you would say. The one in the lighter blue. They haven't gone anything above 8. Everything is 7 and below. They needed more than that, is Rwanda. Playing it straight. Only just one bounce. Before it gets to the fielder. There's something for Rwanda to learn, especially from teams like Nigeria. Nigeria yesterday, they put up a fight, although they went down, but they put up a valiant effort of trying to go for the total, and they lost just by 25 runs. So there needs to be a wholesome effort from the team. And yes, it's a process. And after I was talking to the coach of Rwanda yesterday, Lawrence Matlane, says that this is a 4-year project that he has in the works with the Rwanda side. So it'll take a little bit of time, so people will need to be patient with them, especially when they're facing serious sides like Uganda. You have to be a little bit patient with them, give them the time. And they have now need to negate 101 runs to find within the next few overs that will be remaining.
Gives it a little bit of flight. Try and get some patches off the wicket, but too full. Emilio Cheriza drives that down handsomely down to long on. Just one delivery to go to Henry's spell. Rwanda will feel they have done one job right of not giving him wickets, but he's gone for nothing in that runs column. There it is. He cleans him up. Bought it a bit too straight. Got enough turn on it. Rukundo was squared up. Clueless on what happened there. Very straight delivery with the angle. Turns and bounces and cleans him up. Beautiful delivery there from the young, not young, but the very experienced Henry Senyondo. Completes his quarter, picking up 2 wickets, conceding just 14. Jean-Pierre Rukundo struggles with the bat, continue. 4 of 8.
Knew better, walking to the center there. That'll be Martin Akayezu. From here on, 100 will be needed. 100 runs in 6 overs. Required run rate 16.6 runs and over.
Job not getting any easier for Rwanda as Alpesh Ramjani returns this time round. Change of ends. It's going to be bowling from the pavilion end. Tactic will be pretty similar. He'll bowl straight, looking to attack those stumps. Bring the LBW and bowled dismissals into play. Starts off with a bit of a short delivery that is hit down the ground to long on. Martin Nakayezu, another one of those Rwanda all-rounders, yet to find any runs with bat in hand. It's had a difficult tournament, but he can use this opportunity to try and get some runs under his belt. Conventional forward defensive from him. First up from Martin. Broke onto the scene as a big hitting all-rounder. He's been a shadow of that reputation so far in the tournament.
Works it leg side. Tight call, but he has to go. Found shot of his ground. It's pretty difficult when you hit it straight to the field and then you hope that you can be faster than the arm. And just like that, they lose another one. Worked on leg side, straight to the man there. Quick throw. On top of the stumps. Emil Rukiriza departs for 3 of 8.
And with that dismissal, in walks left-arm orthodox Nadir Muhammad. Has been more than handy with the ball in hand. He's been the leading bowler for Rwanda, both in terms of economy but also in terms of wickets. But he will be required to get something with the bat in hand. He hasn't gotten many yet. But key for these Rwandan batters out there is to simply just put together a partnership. Even if the partnership is in dot balls, just forget about the scoreboard at this particular stage and pick as much experience from this inning as possible. Alpesh Ramjani will be looking to try and clean up the inning and wrap it up.
Well, he won't have much time yet because he's into his last over and one more delivery to go before he completes the allotted 4. And that's it for Alpesh Ramjani. Efforts with the ball in this match. 4 overs that he has bowled, giving away only 6 runs. 7, I beg your pardon. 15 overs done. Rwanda 51 for 7.
And at the end of 15, there will be a change in the commentary box. ILT20 takes a break and Bob Songa returns. Bob, just how teary was that moment for you when Eric was walking off? He obviously got that guard of honor, but that particular moment for you as a player?
Of course, yeah, Davis, it was very emotional, given that I played with him for nearly 10 years in those colors. As we get, of course, Mohamed Nadil getting a boundary, Joseph Baguma changing ends, starting off with the boundary, pulling it into the pass to the left-hander, easy pickings for Mohamed Nadil. Coming back to your question there, me and Eric, we go way back. We're very good friends, of course. We'll have to go and have a chat with him right after this game. But again, you would feel he's done his part. To me, making sure that we have this beautiful ground here has been a magnificent, selfless act from that man, Eric Dusingizimana. Attempting for that record, 51 hours, to make sure his young brothers and the next generation have these beautiful facilities.
Yeah, I think it goes without saying that he's laid the foundation on which the rest of the Rwandans can literally build on. Martin Akayezu is totally beaten, but not only him, Fred Achalam is as well behind the stumps, did not pick that delivery, runs away to the boundary for 4 runs. That's the delivery that goes the other way, beautifully bowled. Martin Akayezu played for turn.
He is still, of course, young in his career, is Joseph Benjamin Baguma. But I'll tell you, Davis, as a former spinner, that carom ball of his is going to be very effective in his career. Catches the call. Old drop shot at that fielder in the deep part, long off. And it shows you how Martin Akayezu, of course, with the drought of runs, one of the recognized all-rounders in this tournament. But it's turned out to be on paper. He's not, of course, played out to his full potential, bring out his A game. This is the man we're talking about who has scored 50 off 17. Goes big again, not enough timing. Joseph Baguma calls for it. Oh, what a catch there, running backwards is the young Joseph Baguma picking up his second, getting rid of Martin Akayezu.
And there it is, Martin Akayezu loses his wicket, again goes for a big heave, doesn't get much needed contact, and that goes straight up into the air. Very well taken there by the young Joseph Baguma, caught and bowled. You did talk about Martin Akayezu's drought. It has appeared like there's never been water in that desert. He's looked like more than a shadow of what we've known him to be like with bat in hand. A lot for him to think about. But his inability to find any runs is heavily hurting Rwanda and the team balance.
Of course, a lot to think about is Martin Akayezu, given that Team Rwanda has a very good depth in their squad. There's that young man who was very impressive in the under 19, the young Chusa Eve, who did make this squad alongside Israel Mugisha, another interesting all-rounder at the age of just 19 years. A lot of work, of course, to be done by Martin Akayezu. 8 wickets down, 62 runs on board after 16.
Bob, just following that on that the conversation about Martin Akayesu, you just feel that Martin Akayesu, in my opinion, together with Ochidetu Isinge, are players you feel that they have played for Rwanda for such a long time, but they are first running out of opportunities. Knowing Lawrence Mahatlani likes to see is very result oriented and very process driven. Big question will be how long he will last in giving them those opportunities.
Back to the baseballer. Juma Miyaji strikes middle stamp out of the ground, bamboozled by that toe crusher from Juma Miyaji. Nadil Mohammed has to depart. Lucky there from Mohammed Nadil as he takes that long way back to the dugout for his 6 of 6 to not get his toe crushed by that in-swing yoker from Juma Miyaji. Picking up his second is Juma Miyaji. Last wicket, 62 runs on board, needing 87 runs. The biggest worry for all Rwandans following this game and supporting the hosts is going to be that net run rate, not cutting off the deficit, of course. You would feel they lost the ploy, kept on losing wickets in succession, not trying to get closer and closer to that target, knowing, of course, that the net run rate is going to play a very big part between, of course, Nigeria, Botswana, and Team Rwanda, the host. Juma Miyaji to continue from the pavilion end into the block hole. Plays it straight to the field at covers. Inyasi Nirenganya joining Zapi Bimenyimana Morris. Not again any contribution from those middle order batsmen for Team Rwanda. It's been, of course, their biggest worry in this tournament. Always relying on Oscar Manishimwe and Didier Ndikubwimana. A lot of work, of course, as you just mentioned, Davis, to be done by the coach himself, Mahatlani Lawrence, and his men in blue and yellow. On the other side, Team Uganda will be the happier. Still unbeaten in this ILT20 Continental Cup, powered by Fancode. They would love to close off this game as soon as possible. Go take a cold shower and have a swim at the hotel. Into the block hole, well dug out by Zapi Menyimana to get off the mark. Playing it straight to that man at long off. 2 deliveries to come from Juma Miyaji's third over. Started off, of course, with that wicket of Mohammed Nadil. He would love to close it off. They'll pick another single at these two. Would feel, of course, they did their part with the ball. Inyasi alongside Zapi Menyimana. The recognized batsmen for the men in blue and yellow. They have left a huge total there, 84 to get in 19 for those two men. As of course I welcome back Eli. Last ball to come. Picking up 2 wickets for his 14 runs. Healthy outside edge, running down to that third man region, beating everyone, including the fielder in slips. And they get another boundary. Is Team Rwanda to close off the 17th over full on that occasion, opening up the face of the blade, guiding it to third man region for a boundary. Is Zapi Menyimana. 17 overs done and dusted, 69 for 9. Why do you think, Eli, Team Rwanda lost the ploy in this chase?
Well, it's a difficult situation for Team Rwanda. I guess for me that they never showed up to the party, especially after the dismissal of their two openers. Everything just seemed to fall apart from there going forward. It's a different side that we saw with the efforts with the ball. I feel that their spirits were dampened after having Uganda on the back foot, and Uganda managing to push as much as it did and sort of dampen their spirits. Oh, I came off the inside edge, and that'll be signaled as 4, and also it'll be a no ball. And that's because the number of fielders inside the circle is well above the stipulated number. And a free hit.
Team Rwanda doesn't mind these runs coming in handy, as of course they're edging closer and closer to that 100 mark. Nyasi Nirenganya to face the free hit.
Fired into the block hole, played straight down the field. Should be just a single.
As you just mentioned, of course, Eli, knowing that they didn't come to the party is Team Rwanda, I would have loved them to come in with the approach of getting closer to that target. They still, of course, stand a chance of playing the finals. They still have a game to go. They will be very eager watching the second game of match day 8. That game number 16, Botswana taking on Nigeria, is going to be very key.
Slowish delivery, trying to deceive him with pace off. And they're able to scramble through for a single. But I guess it's work in progress for Rwanda. They will try and pick some positives from the game, especially their efforts with the ball. They'll be well noted. They will just need to polish up their skills, because they did pretty well. They had really Uganda worried at one point in time whether they'll get to 130. And they managed just to lose it just in a few areas. Lots of work to do with their batting, especially when they're facing serious sides. So that'll be the biggest homework of them all.
Touch and go from these two. But sometimes we all know, Eli, this last wicket can be frustrating to the opposition side. You will tell, of course, from the body language of the men in yellow and red.
Yeah, they're just looking for that last blow. It's a matter of who will provide it. Touch and go. Keeping them in the field for as long as possible.
Some dark clouds, of course, up here at Gahanga. You would feel that the weather is now changing. But what a tournament we are having as we get closer and closer to the end. A couple of rain in the first 2 days. Apish dropping short of that man at backward point.
Still searching. 18 overs done. Rwanda 80 for the loss of 9.
into the block hole from Juma Miyaji. Well played once again from Inyasi Nirenganya. He would love, of course, to fire in that Yoka is the young man, Juma Miyaji, to close off, of course, this game. They've been outstanding, putting on a collective performance in the tournament is Team Uganda. Touch and go again from Zapi Menyimana. Still searching and searching for that last wicket is Team Uganda. Look at that body language from Cosmas Cheuta, who is in, of course, for Alpesh Ramjani. Alpesh over the field at covers from Inyasi. They keep the scoreboard ticking at these two, Inyasi and Zapi Menyimana. Already 3 off his last over is Juma Miyaji. Very good figures indeed, picking up 2 wickets, going for 21 in his 3.3 overs. Ronald chance on that occasion, a little bit of fumble from Pascal Murungi there at covers.
Yeah, he wanted to go for the run up, but there was no one backing up there. So we had the presence of mind just to keep it. Holding on to the ball on that occasion so that he doesn't give away loose runs. Looking to try to clean up in that 1 wicket is Juma. There's one more delivery to go in his allotted 4 for that attempt. Maybe can pick up his 3rd here. But the last man before the roller for the last game is holding fort. Doesn't want to give away his wicket cheaply. Just as we say that, you can see from behind the batter there, the wind is picking up. Clouds are gathering just above the pavilion area. In the block hole, nothing. So it'll be 4 overs done as Juma kicks the ground, hoping that it would have picked up a 3rd. 19 overs done, it'll be 84 for the loss of 9.
Finishing, of course, his quarter with figures of 2 for 22 in his allotted overs is Juma Miyaji. Last 6 balls to come in this fixture. Dinesh Kumar Nakrani to bowl the last over of match day 8, game number 15 of the ILT20 Continental Cup, powered by Fancode.
Last over from Dinesh Kumar Nakrani. Big shout. He pleads. And he gets nothing. Should be going down leg with the arm. Half a chance. Benefit given to the batter there. Try harder. We have 5 more deliveries to attempt. Full toss, worked away. Now before. Insult to injury. You played it for an LBW in the first delivery, and then you are plummeted straight down the wicket for 4. I love the shot of Alpesh Ramjani and Riyazat Ali Shah by the pavilion there. They are well perched like cranes, taking some rest.
Swing and a miss.
Rolling his fingers is Dinesh Kumar Nakrani. One of the bowlers was a highly animated appeal. I'll tell you, Eli, if you're not that focused, you'll get into your mind and end up giving away that wicket.
Again, almost threaded through there. He's searching for that final wicket, Nakrani. Really hunting for it. Two more deliveries to attempt to get that wicket. It's in the gap. Like pushing for two. And they come back with ease. Get to 92.
It's that man, shot number 46, the captain of the day. For the first time out there as a captain, you all know he has picked up a win. Going, of course, into the record books is Fred. Last ball, Apish. Who wants it? There's a fielder who can only watch it sail over him. Zapi Menyimana finishes it off with the maximum. They failed to pick up that last wicket, but they will be very happy to pick up yet another win. Is Team Uganda led by Fred, for the first time being the captain, into the arc, allowing his long levers to carry it all the way to another maximum. 98 is what Team Rwanda could manage to get, losing by 50 runs. Still unbeaten in the ILT20 Continental Cup is Team Uganda. There will be, of course, some handshakes from the two sides. Not getting, of course, the best send-off to that man, Eric Dusingizimana. There you see the batting chart of Team Rwanda. No contribution for the first time from the two openers, Oscar Manishim and Didier, the captain. That man, Eric Dusingizimana, contributing 10 runs in his last outing in those colors. And Isaini Mugabo's contribution, 14 of 20, nothing much to talk about from Orchide, Jean-Pierre, Emile, and Martin Akayezu, which has been, of course, the biggest worry for Team Rwanda. There you see the bowling chart of the Ugandans, led, of course, by Juma Miyaji, picking up 2 wickets. Apart from, of course, Alpesh from Jani, for the first time going wicketless, the rest of the bowlers picked up 2 apiece to make sure they pick up those 9 wickets, winning by 50 runs to stay unbeaten in this ILT20 Continental Cup powered by Fancode. The handshakes, of course, are from the two sides. Not the best send-offs for Eric, a man who just finished his career representing his nation. He's been, of course, a very good servant as we enjoy the highlights. Started off with one, of course, taking a liking of Juma Miyaji is Oscar Manishimwe. Didier Ndikobgimana walking past one, getting knocked over. That man getting a boundary in his last outing. That leading edge to get rid of Oscar Manishimwe. And missing one is Eric Dusingizimana, who had to depart, of course. And that man, Orchide, once again, walking past one. Not getting runs again for his side, and the spinners, of course, kept dominating, picking up wickets in every over. And that run out, of course, of Emilio Kiriza. That was, of course, that shot from Mohamed Nadil, but nothing from Martin Akayezu coming in at number 7, not contributing once again for his side, ending up giving away an easy catch to Joseph Baguma, picking up his wicket. That was the Yorker, the chalk crusher to get rid of Mohamed Nadil. They kept on rolling their fingers. Is Dinesh Nakrani, not giving it easy to the Rwandans to score runs. But Zapi finishing it, of course, in style with the maximum. And Team Uganda winning yet another game, unbeaten by 50 runs. To not go anywhere, as we see, of course, that roller. There you see the match summary of this particular game. Uganda, of course, led by Alpesh from Jani, getting his second half century, 51 off 35, to make sure they get to 140, a comfortable total. A very good handy knock there from Shrideep Mangela, 32 of 27. Fred Chelam, the captain of the day, 27 of 23. Mohamed Nadil, once again, being very impressive with the ball, picking up 3 for 16 in his allotted overs. And there you see Zapi Menyimana leading the batting chart of Team Rwanda with 18 of 10, alongside Inyasi and Isai Nyamgabo's contribution of 14. And the spinners, of course, leading with 2 apiece, and that man Juma Miyaji with 2 for 22 in his allotted overs. Uganda winning by 50 runs. And do not go anywhere, as we'll be back for the post-match presentation award by our co-commentator Davis Karashani.
Welcome to the post-match presentation of match number 15 on match day number 8, an encounter between Rwanda and Uganda. In the proceedings of, Rwanda won the toss and elected to bowl first, allowing Uganda to get 148 in their 20 overs. In response, Rwanda were bowled out for 98 runs, Uganda winning by 58 runs. However, to get these proceedings underway, allow me to speak to the losing captain. Unfortunately today, not able to get over the line, but it was your last game, you would say, for Rwanda Colors. What do you think you'd have done different?
I think building partnership. So I would say that from the first inning, we really bowled well, restricting them under 150 on a score that we were looking that we can really chase, but lack of partnership really costed us.
Yes, something personal. We stand on sacred ground, following, of course, the tears that you obviously not only put in together, but even the sweat in that 51-hour knock, in that net session whereby you managed to raise funds to put together this facility. How special is this particular ground to you, and what does it mean to you and Rwanda cricket going forward?
It's really a home. It was something that I call home because this is our home of cricket now in Rwanda. You know that where we came from, we've been really playing on a bumpy ground, on AstroTurf, but now we have really a tough wicket. The ground that we really enjoy, the ground that is really developing youngsters.
And Eric, this is again another personal question. The curtains of your 16-year career come to an end today. But more importantly, what are your final parting shots to the Rwanda, not only government, to the cricketing fraternity?
I think the persistence is really something good, something that you can really, the young guys that can really learn from us. Playing 16 years is something that really means a lot on me and on the game. And I wish all the best to the young players. And the team, one day probably I will see them in the World Cup.
Well done on your career. Good luck going forward. And the winning captain, Fred Achelam. Congratulations, Fred Achelam. First time of outing. The only food that you did not get right today was perhaps the toss. But what do you have to say about your performance today?
First up, it's as easy as following a process always, knowing your strength and the patch we were in as a team at that particular time. Much as I love attacking and playing hard, I decided to change gears to try and get my team across the line.
Any special words of wisdom that you give Alpesh Ramjani basically on how he plays for the Cricket Cranes?
I believe he's a strong hit of the ball, and what he needs to do probably needs to believe in himself and his strength.
Thank you very much. Best of luck going forward. And to give out the Man of Match award will be the third umpire of this game. He will be giving the Man of Match award to a gentleman who scored 51 runs of 31 balls. And more importantly, he only bowled 4 overs and conceded 7 runs. Alpesh Ramjani. Yes, a few words, Alpesh. Well, you're making it a bit of a habit to try and get Uganda out of trouble. What special things do you have in your mind to get Uganda off to those particular difficult positions?
Well, I'm just trying to follow my instinct, and we make sure that, just keep motivated and make sure that, every time we play, we make sure that we bring wins to our team.
Yes. We're very well done on this one, and best of luck going forward. As we wrap up this particular post-match presentation, there will be a special award that will go to a gentleman that has retired today, Eric, and that award will be presented by the chairman of Rwanda Cricket alongside the wife of that player. Please make your way. Receiving that award, please, Eric, you will receive the award from the president of Rwanda Cricket Association and your wife. Yes, and that is the end of this post-match presentation. Stay with us for the afternoon game between Nigeria and Botswana.
Wonderful post-match presentation there. Appreciation of the players that have been outstanding, both in today's game as well as in the past. Match summary, Uganda putting up a 146 with a loss of 6 wickets. Alpesh Ramjani top scorer with 51 for 35. Shundip Magila a reasonable knock of 32 from 27. Nadir Muhammad outstanding with 3 wickets for 16. But however, it was Uganda who won the game by 50 runs. Zapi Binyumana top scoring with 18. But however, wickets were shared amongst the bowlers for Uganda. Henry, Joseph Baguma and Juma Miyagi 2 apiece. Have a look at the points table. Uganda still top there, 8 out of 8, 16 points they have, net run rate 3.6. And then Rwanda still in second place because we'll await the result of the game that will be coming through after this one, Nigeria versus Botswana. And there we have it. Next match exactly 1:45 p.m. local time here at Ganga Cricket Oval. Botswana take on Nigeria. A must win for both sides to stay in contention for a spot in the final. We'll be back shortly after and then you can join us for this game in the ILT20 Continental Cup powered by Fancode.